Hey, it's Chris. Reviewer hat off. Consumer hat Chris on. Let's go. Games that, I am super freaking interested in. My anticipated list. My wish list. I might buy these soon, and I may have to, convince you to convince me not to buy them. So, that being said, right? A little bit of everything. A little bit of retail, a little bit of old, a little bit of upcoming, a little bit of brand spanking new. Whatever I've got on my radar, it's being front and center right here for you. Because as always, at the beginning of this video, I always give this disclaimer, right? Is Chris talking about this game because he's super interested in it? Or is Chris talking about this game because he was paid to? I'm not getting very much of that. Where I'm jokingly going with that, though, is did they just send it to me, right? Did they send it to me to review? Or am I just talking about it of my own free will, volition, whatever it may be? So, that being said, what's on my not fish wish list, like I said in the outtakes? What's on my freaking wish list? Well, I'd be lying to you. With the recent announcement, this has easily rocketed up to the top or near the top, right? And I said this in the news video separately when this was just announced previously, that I had just been talking to a couple friends about saying, you know what? It's been a couple years since we've seen a new pandemic. WTF is going on with that? Do you think we're ever gonna alert? We do have a new pandemic, and it's called Fate of the Fellowship. It's pandemic, Lord of the Rings, right? I got the trick taken, one back here. I'm just hoping it's better than Star Wars. I'm hoping it's better than Fall of Rome. I'm hoping it's better than Cthulhu. I'm hell of a lot hoping it's better than World of Warcraft. So I'm really hoping for something a little bit more strategic, a little bit more Iberia, a little less all that other stuff, right? I mean, I still have Clone Wars, but I wouldn't be disappointed about, getting rid of it either, right? Hasn't hit the table in the last year. Pandemic is the go-to. Pandemic is just more fun. Pandemic doesn't have all the bling. It's just cubes. It's freaking cubes! So you don't need to miniaturize the over deluxeification of everything nowadays. Holy F-balls, right? Of the video I just did previously, hopefully right before, right after this, I got a review copy sent to me of Ticket to Ride Legacy, and I'm just like, a little trepidatious. I'm also brushing the chip off my shoulder about it, so we're going to go into this and really kind of, and I just saw this elsewhere, right? That is the hobby a little bit too nice at times. Everything is the best of the best and the nicest of the nice. And, again, it is a little bit sometimes. It is. Again, that's a whole nother video, a whole nother topic. I'm trying not to get myself in trouble in this one. Rare is the video where Chris doesn't get in trouble. Okay. And so that's just there. Show me what you got. Show me your freaking cards, Z-Man. One of the few games I might consider pre-ordering all year long because I want it that badly right now. Z-Man, hit me up. Your boy's got a type. It's tougher cooperative games that hit the table easily. Boom shakalaka. That's number one. Bullet, level 99 games, is coming back with Bullet Cubed. Fan expansion, Juice Plus expansion, big box. Do I need it? Am I intrigued by it? Do I ever like big boxes? Do I ever like the idea of big boxes? Do big boxes absolutely make it easier to get to the table? But at the same time, I'm a simp I am an absolute lover of Bullet. And so I own everything up until this day. I got the Dice Tower promo I bought off somebody else, on the secondary market. I have all the other expansions, right? And so it's one of my favorite games of all time. I cannot lie to you and say to you that this is not hugely on my radar. Is this going to be my exception to my no big boxes rule? It might be. I didn't know I had a no big boxes rule until right now on camera, so we'll see how this goes and whether or not I can live up to it. But that is right there. I love the real time. I love the combo. I love the asymmetric. I love the craziness. I love the boom, 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 boom. And it plays fast. It plays hella fast. So anyway, that is on there. You know what? Let's just say screw it. The other one from Level 99 Games, we're just doing back-to-back. Wardens. They're doing a 5x5 skirmish style God tier. It's on Tabletop Simulator right now. They're doing media events on a weekly, monthly basis. They have it out for you guys to try as well too, I think. And it just looks freaking cool, right? It gives me God tier, Battle of Eternia vibes. My only fear is too much measuring and that sort of thing to really kind of, but at the same time, I'm willing to give Level 99 a pass on that. Just kidding. What I'm really saying is I'm willing to maybe overlook my aversion, is really what I mean, to that skirmish style measuring, because that's just not usually my thing. But I'm all for that, and so that's why I have to mention it. Let's stay with that though, because Skytear Horde of the lane battling, Guards of Atlantis, card driven, combination. We've got their upcoming game Onward, and that has intrigued me since the conception and the shouting it from the rooftops style of things. So can they follow up with this in the series of a Skytear Horde with a slight nuanced difference along the same lines? If you can give me a slightly more accessible, slightly more streamlined Guards of Atlantis 2 vibe, I'm all for it. Now, the thing I worry about, and per the Board Game Geek description, they say each player controls 2 or more champions, right? God tier, Guards of Atlantis 2-ish. But 2 or 3 lanes, towers, minions. Minions are weak that grow strong as you get more of them. Dangerous areas between the lanes where champions can defeat them to get, extra gold and buy money and stuff like that, right? It's the video game League of Legends, essentially. So again, I have a type. I can't tell you that I've played Guards of Atlantis 2 at this point enough to feel like I should really own it and have the expansions. I don't care, right? There are a few games, again, you make the exception for, and that's essentially what this list is highlighting where does Chris draw that line? How does Chris look at this? And again, a little bit inside of here, which is always a lot of bit of dangerous stuff from that aspect. So that is on there as well. You know what? Let's go some more different, right? Let's go to I can get it at this second, right? There's a couple others on here that are future as well, retail and crowdfunding, but let's go mid-video break here and mid-video plug for my Patreon for exclusive content and exclusive thoughts on crowdfunding as well as stuff behind the hobby scenes. Go hit me up, give me a couple bucks a month because I'm helping you not buy stuff and make my mistakes. The 2 that I have had in my cart, literally in multiple websites at multiple times over the last month, 2 of them. My most anticipated expansion of the year, this guy right behind me, with Dune Imperium Uprising Bloodlines. I missed the pre-order, so I'm not going to get the promo card, but literally had it in my cart. Time of me filming this. I am itching to get it. Itching. And that probably is going to be on my 10x10 as well. And I'm going to make my wife play that one as in addition. That's going to be the biggest test probably on the list. That's probably the heaviest game that she has maybe ever played consistently. We don't play that heavy of games, folks. It's all the 2-player stuff. It's all the lighter stuff. It's all the easier skirmish. Right? So that is something that is hugely on my radar. Do I need it? Again, can I justify having it? No, but it's like the Guards of Atlantis 2, where that is, again, one of those games for me that I don't care how many times a year I play it, but it's freaking awesome and it connects in ways that others don't. So it will always have a spot. Because no one would believe me if I didn't actually show you it. I just received my copy of Dune Imperium Bloodlines here. Yes, and right here, this is the promo card that came along with it. I traded for it. I couldn't buy it, but I traded for it. So, say what you will, but, I do put my money where my mouth is. I put my games where my mouth is. I put my trades where my mouth is. That one is the most accurate, although it sounds the worst coming out of my mouth, if that also makes sense, right? The other one, surprisingly, again, this is probably the biggest gainer out of the convention scene, in my opinion, at the end of the year. Between Gen Con and Essen, I actually filmed a video that never aired, talking about the Essen's Where Are You Now situation, looking back 3 to 4 months after Essen happened, and how hot are those games? How much did they rise in stature or hotness or hype or acquisition or whatever you want to say, right? Or can you even remember half of the games that were, this is the best game coming out of Essen that you must buy, because there were plenty of those videos that said you should buy these games, the must-buys at Essen? No. Because again, every time I say, don't screw an effing buy the games that are, there at that point. Because chances are 3/4 of them, 95% of them, let's be extreme, let's put myself out there on a limb, you won't remember. You won't remember a year from now. Maybe you'll remember them. I'm being a little bit extreme here. I'm saying you won't have them in your collection. You won't remember which ones were the best, or guess what? The best ones won't be the best ones a year from now. I do that on a monthly basis on crowdfunding to say, look back, where the hell are these games now? How do you feel about them? I just did earlier in January tier listing some of the $1 million projects from 2022 to 2024. And some of those, yeah, I mean, some of those are absolutely freaking outstanding. And others of those, nope, no thank you. Peace out, see you later. So the one I'm going and talking about, though, convoluted Chris way to get there, Bomb Busters. Again, I have a type. There's a bunch of this on this video. Cooperative, deductive. I like the idea of a deductive game like this. It freaking terrifies me, though. This random picking from other people's and trying to get like 3 of them to match with different combos and different colors. Oh my gosh, like it terrifies me. Like I need games that play cooperatively at a little bit of this higher player count. I don't have a ton that plays at 5 in a cooperative manner well on a repeated basis. That's a little bit easy. Yeah, I know Pandemic is just talking about Pandemic earlier, but you know what I mean, right? Nobody wants to play Pandemic. The lighter style, more whimsical stuff. I just brought Challengers, the Beach Cup game, or Ask the Deck Builder, if you will, to our couples game night like last month. And that was a big hit because it plays like 6 to 8 people pretty easily. And I would like something along those lines. And if Bomb Busters could have played 6, it would have been more ideal, but diffusing bombs, deducing, and cutting unseen wires, right? So I can't tell you that that one won't end up in my collection by the time you guys are viewing this video. Probably have some subtext overlaid on top of me saying whether or not I have at this point, just like with Bloodlines. So those are the 2 retails that I am just in demand for right now, and the dopamine urge is strong. The other one is the Massive Darkness 2, Dungeons of Shadowreach. And I think Massive Darkness 2 is what I want out of Zombicide ultimately, that I just have found a little bit unfulfilling, hence owned 3 zombies sides and not really been super overarchingly ecstatic about any of them. Right? That's the issue. And I like the idea of this. I wonder if it's going to be more of a Black Rose Rebirth Redux sort of situation as opposed to the original, upgraded version, Tainted Grail 2.0, whatever you want to say along those lines. The stretch goal box is amazing. I've been dabbling, poking my toes into the water of trying to trade for the first one. Haven't really gotten any nibbles. Haven't been willing to pony up a bunch of money for it. But I'm looking at this and going, I mean, by far and away the best value is the crowdfunding campaign if I want to get it in 2027. Haha! But that's going to be the conundrum of the question. Just like what we saw with, more recent campaigns in this style, why would I get the previous one if this one is going to be a 2.0? If this is going to be a multiverse or an X-Men style situation comparatively to the original Marvel United? Or even maybe more aptly is Cthulhu, right? Cthulhu Death May Die. People say, you know what? Pick your core, pick your stretch goal box and be good. Peace out. You don't need more of one of those combinations of all 3 of them. With now the 3rd one just funding last year. And that's maybe how I'm looking at Massive Darkness. That's how I think I look at Zombicide, is they're all pretty much the same with a different pasted on theme. And so which one is your preferred pasted on theme? But I can't tell you that I haven't had an itch for this one over the last 2 or 3 weeks, even before the launch date was announced.
I didn't actually get Massive Darkness Shadows of Dungeonreach post-campaign at the time of me filming this now. Right? I'd be lying again if I told you that as those things were getting revealed and as the expansions were mounting and the pressure was more intense, I looked at it and I said, you're not going to play this anytime soon. Go get Hellscape, late pledge it 6 months from now if you still have the bandwidth to get something that light dungeon style crawl, light versus shadow-esque mechanic played. Right? That's a perfect, absolute and utter wet dream gateway for my kids to be able to play with me as a step up style of things. But it's not also a right now thing. Both, 1, I don't think they're quite ready for it. And then 2, well, again, I'm getting it sometime in 2027. Woo!
The other upcoming one, I'm assuming this is crowdfunding as well. I believe there's confirmation. But that is Battle Monsters, the 2-player, 2-starter situation from Restoration Games. I'm putting a lot of faith in them, again, as a 2-player head-to-head battler. Is it going to be teams? Is it going to be King of the Hill? Can you dice throne it, if you will? What is that going to look like exactly? 4 characters known right now Is it going to be an unmatched where, how compatible? Is it fully compatible? What can you do with it, right? Dice chucking to go along with it. So there is a definite dearth of kaiju in terms of our hobby, an absence that needs to be filled. Nature, a hobby abhors a thematic vacuum, if you will, and we will see if this can fill it. But with their more recent unmatched stuff, as well as with Thunder Road Vendetta, I am going to be very, very, very hands-on intrigued with this one. In addition, price it right. Don't make it a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles situation. And you know what? You got me, essentially. And I'm willing to give it a shot. But again, I want clarity in what is improved, why I should get this now, and give me some incentive. Give me Carnival of Chaos, not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I do not need foil freaking art alternative promos. Pass. I'm sorry. 2 last ones up here at the end, right? So both of these are future retail games. Future retail. And both of these, again, sort of are ones that you could probably pick out of a lineup if you've listened to the rest of this video. One, very much so. I have a type, right? Horrified, Dungeons and Dragons. I have not picked up a Horrified yet to this date. If you are surprised at hearing that, well, you should be, because I've definitely looked at 2 or 3 of them. I almost picked one up on the Black Friday situation when I think it was maybe the Greek or American Monsters was down to like $17 on Amazon. But I didn't. I've heard mixed things about the rulebook. I've heard that it should be a great fit for me. Never been able to pull the trigger. Never been able to do it. I have a very poor retail track record, so I've been gun shy. But now you give me Dungeons and Dragons, you make it compatible maybe with one of the other ones. Please make it freaking compatible. That pisses me off that some of those aren't. I think it could be good. Thematic incorporation, fine. Mechanically, again, hopefully a little bit of a step up. And I'm all in. No details. All we know, this is going to be a beholder for one of the monsters. Please don't make it stupid movie tie-in, though. Give me original art. Give me original freaking art. Please, I'm begging you. Last up, and I covered this, I think, in one of the news videos as well, these last 2, is that the overseas European version of the Quest for El Dorado. I have the Ravensburger new Dutrait art one. The problem is all of the other new Dutrait art expansions, if you're not familiar with this sort of deck building race along a hex via different terrain situation style game, is that they have an old version with all the expansions. Europe made a new version with new art. Then they said, oh yeah, this is selling like hotcakes. People love this game. It just needed a slight, beautification, if you will. And then they ported it over in Ravensburger, and they made basically buku. But for some reason, there's been this serious drag about doing it with the expansions. And I understand that. I know there's been some issues, and people have explored it in the Board Game Geek forums. But the issue is that the card size of the European version, same version as the Ravensburger version, they're just slightly off. So if you buy the European expansions and you mix them with the cards that I have, you can tell the size difference as you're shuffling, which doesn't work. You could, but it doesn't work. And so they just announced a big box expansion over in Europe to entice buying all, I think, 3 of them together, including the one that isn't even out here in North America. And so the question now is, do I just say screw it, get rid of a game I like in this sense, and buy the complete better version, it appears, because I'm not sure it's ever going to come to North America. I don't know why it wouldn't. I don't know why it shouldn't. It should. I think you'd be printing money. One of those few things, like I said with Foundations of Rome, make a cardboard version. Guess who liked it? Everybody. So that's where I think things could be. That's why I think they should do it. And that's why I think I could easily see myself selling it, importing the other one, even though I shouldn't. And even though, again, I hate buying games like this more than once for this reason. But are the expansions essential? No. Are they going to make it better? Hell yes. And that is why it's on the wish list. Boom. There you go. What is on your radar, wish list, want list, don't buy list? It's just fun talking about. I love talking about board games. Don't be me. Be selective, be choosy, be careful, and don't collect dust. Well, you can collect dust as like a side hobby or your body itself personally, but don't let your games collect dust is what I'm saying. That's what you get at the end of the video. That's why I won't hit 20K in 2025, but you could be the difference in helping me do so. So peace out. Have a great day.